Now I'm going to tell you about a way you can improve your relationship with work and your dopaminergic system. By using this method, you can adjust your dopaminergic system for discipline in productive work and increased motivation. Generally, most people don't like working hard, many avoid hard work. But some people work tirelessly to achieve a specific goal. Achieving this final goal and receiving a reward for it is usually the main motivation for most people, regardless of the type of reward, whether it's money or anything else. However, since dopamine is directly linked to our perception of time, working hard just for a reward you plan to receive in the future can make your activity much harder and drastically reduce your productivity in the future. Now I'm going to talk about some scientific data and experiment results. At Stanford University, an experiment was conducted in which children in daycare drew different pictures. They drew just because they liked doing it. Researchers took the children who liked drawing and began giving them different rewards for their drawings. This was usually a gold star or something similar that the children found interesting and useful enough. But after a while, they stopped giving these rewards, and researchers found that without the reward, the children were much less likely to draw than before the experiment. And the important thing to understand here is that it was the work the children liked before receiving the reward, which they chose to do on their own. No one forced them to draw. This is called internal reinforcement. When we receive a reward for our work, even if we reward ourselves, we begin to get much less satisfaction from the activity itself, for which we received the reward. This may seem illogical, but that's how our dopaminergic system works. When you reach the dopamine peak for receiving a reward for your work, it reduces your baseline dopamine level, and in this case, the cognitive interpretation is that you were doing your job not because you liked it, but just to get the reward. This by no means implies that any reward for work will be bad, but it is also important to understand that dopamine controls our perception of time and when and for how long we experience pleasant dopamine sensations. When we engage in some activity, whether it's studying, working, exercising, and we do it just for the reward we promise ourselves at the end of that activity, we actually increase the amount of time during which we analyze or perceive that experience. And since the reward only comes at the end, our dopaminergic system doesn't work as efficiently during our activity as it does during the reward. Over time, we start to feel less and less pleasure in our specific activity while we perform it, which is the opposite of growth thinking. Carol Dweck developed the concept of growth mindset, which consists of convincing a person that their intellectual abilities can develop and improve over time if they put in enough effort, and that is in itself the ultimate goal. And this type of thinking leads to incredible results over time. Numerous studies have observed that people who have a growth and development mindset ultimately achieve much better results than people with a fixed mindset. This is because people with a growth mindset are focused on their own efforts, and each person can cultivate a growth mindset in themselves. The neural mechanisms responsible for the growth mindset can teach a person to reward themselves for their efforts, but doing so is quite difficult. You must tell yourself that hard work is good, that work brings you pleasure, even if in reality it seems quite difficult for you. Over time, you will notice that you can associate hard work with the release of dopamine during your work. In this case, you completely deprive yourself of the ability to generate maximum dopamine release only at the moment of receiving the reward you will receive at the end of the work. If you could access dopamine during work, dopamine, with all its properties, could increase the amount of energy in your body and also have a positive impact on your concentration by converting dopamine into adrenaline. So, the most correct decision would be not to focus only on receiving a reward for work during your efforts. The advantage of this skill is that each of us has it. So you can tell yourself, I enjoy hard work. I know it can be painful and unpleasant, but I'm focused on it. I'm about to start accessing the reward for my efforts. I regret my efforts. I can find pleasure in the release of dopamine during the performance of my work. I'm doing this by choice and because I like it. If you repeat this several times, you will eventually find that it really starts to work. Yes, it sounds like a lie to yourself and, in a way, it is. But it's a lie in the context of the truth, which is that you want to feel better. You want your work to bring you the greatest pleasure possible. The ability to find pleasure during efforts is undoubtedly the most powerful aspect of our dopaminergic system, and the most wonderful thing is that it is available to each of us. But you need to eliminate all the things that can prevent you from having a dopamine release during work. Don't increase your dopamine level before starting work, and don't increase your dopamine level immediately after finishing work. Learn to increase your dopamine exactly during the moment when you are applying efforts. Attention, pay close attention. Do you want to have access to the ebook 20 Ways to Make $1,400 in 7 days or $5,600 in 1 month? That's right. These are validated, tested, and proven methods by thousands of people, methods that really work. But pay attention, it's not easy money, and it's not overnight wealth. These are 100% honest ways for you to raise this money. You can use it as your main income or supplementary income. And anyone can apply what's in the ebook. The original value of the ebook is $97, but you will only pay half of that amount, which is $48. Actually, you won't even pay that. The amount you will pay is $19.90. It's practically free for the value it delivers, and you even get 2 super secret bonuses. It's much cheaper than many snacks out there, and your risk is zero, as after the purchase you still have a 7-day guarantee to ask for your money back. If you find that it's not for you, just ask for a refund and you get every penny back. What are you waiting for this great opportunity? Hurry and get the ebook at the promotional price. Click on the link in the first pinned comment.